Into this conversation with Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Good to see you as always, sir. You're leaving to become the executive of Florida, arguably because Congress has become a big government fan club where constitutional conservative priorities are shunned by the uniparty. What was your take on my take on the color revolution I believe the Democrats have undertaken and the Republicans seem ill-equipped to address?
I think your take is spot on and correct. Look, we just got to get serious up here. If you do not take the active steps necessary to reform these agencies, support President Trump and what he's trying to do, codifying his executive orders, etc., then we're just wasting a lot of time. And I think some of the frustration born on Capitol Hill is people feeling like time is being wasted and it is not actually being utilized effectively. There is so much stuff that we could do if we are focused on the core mission, which is actually making sure the institutions of our government are working the way they were intended. A lot of that is rolling back a lot of the deep state activities, making sure that funding is being spent appropriately. This is one of the reasons why I support President Trump and his desire to eliminate the Senate filibuster, because the Senate filibuster does not allow for compromise. It is a blockade to real progress on actual fundamental policies and spending that will put the American people first.
Congressman, you've been here for some of this. I've been expressing concern that the Republican establishment is eager to turn over control of Congress to the Democrats so the Democrats can stop the America First coalition. The establishment is accomplishing this by accomplishing very little to thwart Democrats and the harm they're doing to our nation. Your colleague, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, writes this on X, quote, "Republicans have the House, Senate, and the White House, yet the deep state is alive and well, with the Speaker getting rolled by House Democrats attempting to block my provision to require congressional disclosure when the FBI opens counterintelligence investigations into presidential and federal candidates seeking office." What do you make of this, Congressman? Should GOP voters and conservatives be concerned about the way the Republican Party is behaving?
Oh, yeah, they should. Look, I got a chance to speak with Elise about this specifically. I support her position. That measure, her measure that she's worked on to get into the NDAA, which is a vote that's going to take place next week, that provision should be in the bill. We shouldn't be concerned about what the Democrats say about this matter, because they are the ones that have weaponized the agencies of our government against President Trump, but also against conservatives all across America. So that provision needs to get back in. I'm not sure what took place at the leadership level, but it needs to get back in the bill, so that way the Republican conference has the responsibility of sending that measure to the Senate so the Senate can get it to the president's desk.
Speaker Johnson, we would love to speak to the Speaker about this, but we keep on asking, and hopefully, praise God, he'll come on and discuss it with us. Congressman, in Tennessee's 7th Congressional District, a Christian husband, father, America First conservative, combat veteran is facing off against what is being dubbed the AOC of Tennessee, who has said that she hates the very district she wants to represent. But polls still show it's kind of a razor-thin margin there, within the margin of error, of favoring the Republican. Last week, Emerson College polling showed them in a dead heat. Republican Matt Van Epps at 48%, and the Democrat Afton Ben at 46%. What is your read on this race?
My read is that the special elections this year, obviously you have Democrat voters who are highly motivated. Republican voters just have to get to the polls and show up and vote. It's that simple. Listen, to the voters in Tennessee 7, across the state of Tennessee, and quite frankly, across the entire country, last November, you came out in force because you witnessed firsthand the destructive policies of the Democrats when they have control. Now that President Trump's back, you got to send the reinforcements. You have to get out. You got to vote for Van Epps. Make sure your voice is heard tomorrow at the polls so that he can actually win that race and get in there, because that's the whole deal. We got to get that done. Today. You got to make sure you get out and you got to vote for him today. Do not sit back and think because it's a Republican area that this is in the bag. You have a couple hours to go. Get out and vote.
Gubernatorial candidate and Congressman Byron Donalds, sir, thank you very much. Appreciate the time, as always. You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.